Good morning, Sally. How are you doing today?
Good, Jen. How are you?
Fantastic. Really excited to have a small window of time to connect with you.
Yeah,
First and foremost, we are so excited to have you join us in Santa Fe for the Wisdom for Better Tourism Retreat. And to kick us off, if you could just take a moment to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about you.
sure. Well, my name is Sallie Fraenkel. I live in Chappaqua, New York, which is a suburb of New York City. And I would say the easiest way to describe myself is a person who loves wellness travel and has an expertise in wellness travel and tourism.
Love it. Great. And what called you to join the Wisdom Retreat for Better Tourism?
Well, so many things called me, but I would have to say I was very much drawn to experiencing Chip Connolly firsthand, doing facilitation. I met Chip quite a number of years ago during my time at SpaFinder, but I have yet to experience his wisdom and what he does through the Modern Elder Academy. I'm always drawn to be in the sphere of Jake Haupert, the founder of the Transformational Travel Council, and in his brilliance, and the opportunity to be at the Rising Circle Ranch, which just opened and looks magical. I think all of those three, plus being with some other brilliant minds and people with big hearts, just I couldn't say no.
Absolutely. You are in for a treat. It is a magical place.
Oh.
What kind of aspirations or hopes do you have for the future of tourism and travel?
My hope for tourism and travel is that travel remains accessible and maybe becomes even more accessible to those who want to travel. And yet, people who have the opportunity to travel recognize that we are truly visiting others. Just like when someone comes into my house, they are a guest in my home. And when people come to my home, I welcome them with warmth and love and hospitality, but also expect them to treat my house with respect. So I would hope that people would learn that when you go to someone else's home, that you would treat it with respect and with love and care, and maybe take the time to get to know a little something about the person's home you're visiting. Literally, that land or that monument or that beach or whatever it may be. And if we just gave more respect and consciousness, travel would be so much better.
Oh, wow, that was so beautifully shared. Thank you. And I want to talk a little bit about wisdom now. What role does wisdom play in tourism, not only today, but also tomorrow and in the future?
Such a great question. The word wisdom is a word that really I'm drawn to, because my perspective on wisdom is it's something that you gain through experience and experiencing. So you have to have a certain amount of experience with something to develop wisdom around it. So it isn't just something that you're necessarily born with. Although I do believe that there are such things as wise souls, but it's something that you must cultivate, you must work towards, and you must recognize and appreciate. So I believe that wisdom is something that can be really gained and cultivated. So I think that by all coming together, you know, collectively, we'll each come away with more wisdom.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. It's so wonderful. And why is transformational travel important to you?
It's important to me because I've had transformational experiences through traveling. And it's something that I actually had started to experience a very long time ago. Travel is something that I loved from a very young age, and I was an outlier in my family. I did not come from a family of explorers or travelers or adventurers. And I'm not saying that I'm necessarily an adventurer or an explorer. I'm definitely a traveler. I have done some exploring and some adventuring, but I always loved it. I always felt so alive when I would go to a new place and meet new people, and experience new ways of being. So I just at a very young age really wanted to do more travel, and I did everything in my power to make that so, including finally having a career that allowed me to do more travel. It took me a long time to get there, but I felt the power, the transformational power of travel, even if I did not use that term. I felt that from a very
Right.
young age. However, with that said, when I started my own company in 2014, 10 years ago, I started my own company to create engaging events and transformative travel. And that is on the back of my business card. So even before the TTC was using that term, I was actually wanting to use that term because that's what I was aspiring to create for others.
Yeah, you're a trendsetter, Sally.
I don't
I
know
love
about that, but I also like alliteration, so it sounded good.
it. Absolutely. If you could have a magic wand and change just one aspect of tourism or travel, what would it be?
Take people's phone away for a percentage of their trip.
Wow. Yes. Short and sweet. Do you have anything
Let,
else
let
to
me put
share?
that a
That is
little more.
it.
Let me
I
put
think
that
that's
more
powerful
gently.
enough.
I'm going to put that more gently.
Okay.
Okay. Give people a really good reason to tuck their phone away for 24 to 48 hours of their travel experience to truly feel their travel in a different way.
Ah, yes, yes, yes. Yes to all of that. Um, and lastly, do you have any parting words of wisdom that you would like to share with us?
Mm. My parting word of wisdom, my parting words of wisdom would to be keep in mind that there's always the opportunity to do something for the first time. It doesn't have to be a big first. It can be a small first. But I often ask myself, when was the last time you did something for the first time? And that helps keep your mindset open, helps keep you in a beginner's eyes way of being and seeing. So I suppose that would be wisdom that I apply for myself. So when was the last time you did something for the first time?
Ah, that's beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you so much. I'm going
You're
to shut off
welcome.
the recording now. I think we've got it.
Okay.